half, minus 115 on the run line. Atlanta at minus 105. The over-under run total is at 8. For vsin.com, I'm Tony Desiri, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 97.7ESPN.com. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Nieghbor's Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And just like that, we say welcome into another brand new live edition of Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Happy opening day in Major League Baseball and the Masters. Makes you want to hear some James Earl Jones.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
Ray.
Of course, that's James Earl Jones from Field of Dreams. Get you excited for Major League Baseball. Today is opening day. 14 teams in action. One of those, the defending World Series champion Atlanta Braves. You'll be able to hear that right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone this evening. And then you got the Masters, which is under a weather delay right now.
Shocked.
Yeah, you feel bad for that. Whatever came through here yesterday, obviously, a little bit is over there in Augusta. They Par 3 contest was fighting the weather yesterday, so but they are 30 minutes delayed over there in Augusta. So instead of teeing off at 7 o'clock, the first group will not tee off till 7:30. That means everybody's tee time's pushed back 30 minutes. Stewart Cink will not tee off until 8:36. Tiger Woods will not tee off until 10:04. This morning, but man, oh man,
9:04 our time.
No, those are Central Time.
That would say it's 11 Georgia time. Gotcha.
Yeah, so the times were our times for teeing off. So
okay,
gotcha. That is what we've got today. Man, what a day! What a day! Major League Baseball and the Masters, all on the same day.
Yeah, looking forward to it, no doubt about it. It's going to be a great first day of the Masters. It's always a great week, great weekend. Next 4 days going to be wall-to-wall. A lot of golf coverage. It's the best week in golf, and to have Tiger Woods back out there competing for the first time in 17 months is just such a unique opportunity, and looking forward to that. And just really looking forward to following the 4 days, and we'll have Charlie Plott, our golf analyst from Plott Performance, in with us tomorrow to give us his thoughts on round 1, going into round 2 in the weekend. Again, we will have blowout coverage of the Masters and even some radio this weekend, correct?
Yeah, we'll have the Masters on here. Radio golf is interesting because it's one of those things where you can just sit back and you have to visualize everything that's going on, but they do a fantastic job of trying to paint the picture of the Masters in golf on the radio. It's pretty entertaining if you haven't listened to Masters on the radio. It's pretty good, but you'll be able to listen to it right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. So, yeah, we'll get you ready for the Masters. We'll get you ready for opening day. We've got to talk some spring football. Alabama on the dot, back on the field yesterday.
Goodbye, Jai.
They won't be on there today. They'll be back there tomorrow. They got a scrimmage on Saturday. Jimbo Fisher talks recruiting yesterday, and we'll play what he had to say.
That'll be fun.
Yes.
Because it's all legal. At least it is right now.
It will be fun. It will be fun to hear from
Then he'll
Jimbo.
lose 4 more.
Oh, but anyway, yes, Alabama back on the practice fields yesterday. The Tide going through what was workout 10 of 14. They had their second scrimmage Saturday, so in 48 hours they'll have their second scrimmage. How important is said second scrimmage to a lot of these young guys?
They're all important. I mean, you're trying to earn the trust of your teammates, earn the trust of your coaching staff, go out there and perform. It's the closest thing you're going to get to a real game until the fall. And then, of course, A-Day on to end spring practice, which will be on television. But any of these chances you have inside Bryant-Denny Stadium to scrimmage and to, and again, it's not going to be full-blown tackling. It's not going to be a full-blown game because there's going to be a lot of, taking the air out of the ball. They're going to work on a 2-minute drill. They're going to work on goal line. They're going to work on red zone offense. But it's still a chance to make plays, no doubt about it, and to show that you don't have performance anxiety and to show that you're ready to go.
That scrimmage being on Saturday, who has a chance to take some of the best advantages, though, on Saturday?
Well, I mean, still, it's got to be Amari Kite at left tackle. Tyler Steen still has not announced his destination, though we strongly believe that's going to be Alabama. He's not on the team yet, will not be until May. So every rep you can get in a starting position is precious to impress the coaching staff and make it a battle when that young man, we believe strongly, enrolls to compete for that job. And if you're J.C. Latham, you're continuing to try to strengthen your hold on the right tackle spot. Seth McLaughlin, you got to remember Darian Dalcourt's out at center, so you're trying to win the job at the center spot from Buford, Georgia, and continue to play at the high level you did at the end of last season when Darian was hurt, and then tried to come back late in the season, but McLaughlin held him off and continued to play. So, just like Darian also had some issues with the shotgun snaps last year, didn't seem to have that with McLaughlin. So every rep he gets, and McLaughlin's going to have the entire spring to himself, is going to be huge. And then you've got, Javian Cohen trying to continue to hold on to the left guard slot. And then Damian George, who played some at right tackle last year, got a start or two, did not do very well in pass protection. He's moved inside to guard. I think it's his natural position, and he's getting a ton of reps because Emil Ekiyor is out for the spring as well. But what you're doing if you're Alabama, you're trying to develop some depth and probably at least 10 guys you're confident in, and that's what they're doing right now. And then the wide receiver room, Aaron Anderson's, the Kendrick Laws, Trayshawn Holden's, all these guys. There's so much production gone from that wide receiver room, and there's also some cancer gone. But anyway, it's a chance for guys to win jobs, earn the respect and the trust of Bryce Young, and be a big part of the offense going forward in 2022.
Here is Nick Saban post-practice yesterday.
Progress, as a team. I think we have a lot of guys that are working hard, a lot of guys that are competing, a lot of guys that are actually improving. And I think one of the points that I continue to make with the players is their ability to stay focused on what they need to do to improve, to sort of self-assess where they are and go work to improve on the things they need to improve on. I also think that, we're really trying to evaluate guys that are competitors, that go out there and compete every day in every circumstance. We do some competition drills sometime in practice, and it's amazing how guys sort of rise up, whatever, and, really compete in those drills, but yet in the practice reps, they don't have the same energy, they don't have the same intensity, they don't have the same focus. I think what's really important is you don't get in the mode of enduring practice, that you look at every rep in practice as an opportunity to compete, and you respect the other player. So if he's competing against you and he's doing the best he can and you're doing the best you can to win your box, whatever that is, whether you're playing defensive line, offensive line, corner, receiver, it doesn't matter, that you're really trying to make the other guy better, because you're playing hard against him, he's playing hard against you, and you respect each other for that. And I think that goes a long way in helping build respect and trust on the team when guys do that. I think it helps team chemistry. I also think that we're still trying to identify, leadership. We have some good leadership on the team from a year ago, but we have guys in new roles that have new responsibilities, new opportunities, and some of those guys need to embrace the opportunity that they have to, lead and affect, other guys on the team, which I think is always something that's really important. So, this scrimmage, I know you probably asked me what's the difference between this scrimmage and the last scrimmage. I think the big thing is we focus on improvement. That's what we talk about after the last scrimmage. That's what we've talked about for 2 practices in a row, making sure you know what you have to do to wherever you are to continue to make progress. And I think we want to evaluate, how that goes. I also think that, you start to see guys gain confidence in other guys that they play with. Because they are responsible and accountable, they can do their job, they do communicate, and I think that goes a long way to, impacting and affecting, team dynamics. So those are some of the things that we want to continue to progress and continue to build on, and we'll kind of go from there. I don't know who the Alston money, we pay our players that. We paid them last semester, we're paying them this semester. I don't know where some of those things come from. I know you probably asked me about Aji Hall. He is suspended from the team for, violations of some, team rules, whether they're, academic or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Everybody has a responsibility and obligation to respect the principles and values and do what they need to do they're all there to help them be more successful. So to respect those and do those is always really helpful.
All right, there's Nick Saban a little bit giving us the update on Aji Hall.
Mm-hmm. As we said yesterday, he is suspended. He will soon be gone. That's what I strongly believe. He will not take another snap for the University of Alabama. He will not be there in the fall. It's been a turbulent, to say the least, year for him at the University of Alabama. And A-Day coming up in a couple weeks would be it really has been a year because he went through spring practice last year. So it's been about a year for him at the University of Alabama. You can count on one hand the plays he made, and those were in the national championship game. Also, the plays he didn't make. And he's pretty much been in the doghouse throughout his tenure at Alabama. It's really not on the coaches. It's on Aji. It's his situation. I get asked this a lot. What exactly did he do? I have no idea. The best way to put it, and you can tell by the tone of Nick Saban there, is immaturity. Immaturity, not doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. He talks about it all the time. Being late to practice, being late to tutoring, missing class. That's what the guy's been doing, man. And he went to 3 different high schools when he was in he got kicked out of IMG Academy. All right? So Alabama still took a chance on his talent because there's no question. He's big, he's fast, he's got the ability to play major college football and maybe even in the NFL. But right now it's between the ears, man. Right. He's just not handling himself properly. Probably needs a fresh start elsewhere, maybe another coaching staff to see if they can reach him. But right now, Alabama, I don't think is the program for him, and Aji Hall is going to be moving on.
All right, 256-576-4977. If you want to get in on the show this morning, feel free to do so. Now is the time to do it. 256-576-4977. You've heard from Nick Saban there. What was he referring to about the money? I have no idea what that is all about.
That's the first I've heard of it. I don't know if it's an NIL thing. I have no idea. I'll be the first to tell you that. I read through the quotes and everything, and and mainly about the Aji Hall situation, right. Trying to get to discern what was going on and basically confirm what I had heard. But the situation on the money, I have no idea what Nick Saban's talking about, man.
Somewhere, somehow, yeah, something came up. I don't even know what the name of it that he was calling or what he was referring to there. So we'll have to figure that one out because obviously it was something that he had found and heard, so he felt it necessary to bring up. He did talk a little bit about the scrimmage on Saturday. Coming up in a little bit, Ryan Fowler will join the show as we preview the second scrimmage a little bit more. On Saturday inside Jordan-Hare Stadium, while Alabama is scrimmaging, Saturday will be A-Day for the Auburn Tigers, as Brian Harsin and company will wrap up most of their practices. I believe they have one more coming out of A-Day. Usually teams have just that one to meet and go over everything from their spring game. But Brian Harsin and company will have A-Day on the Plains on Saturday.
Yes, they will. It's his second spring. It's a big one for Auburn. They're putting the pieces together, and there's a lot of them that have to be sorted out, especially at the quarterback position. They do have Tank Bigsby to build around that did not transfer. At least he's stayed through the spring. They definitely want to build around him, so I know they expect him to stay around through the fall. He's going to be a big part of Brian Harsin's offense. He should be. He's got a lot of experience. Didn't have the year they anticipated last season, but still is very, very talented, capable, I think, of being the best back in the SEC. And then they got to get their offensive line situation sorted out. They've got some experience coming back. Austin Troxell coming back. Nick Brom, some of those guys are returning, but they're not healthy right now. They're trying to, give them some time off to heal up, be ready. The Killian Zaires in that situation. So it's going to be interesting to see where their offensive line stands, after the spring going into the fall. You heard Jason Caldwell this week. They still need help on the edge. They don't have a lot of depth. Besides, Derek Hall and then Leota from Northwestern. They're the two guys left. But again, they need some more depth at the edge spot and wide receiver. Javarius Johnson looks like he's going to stay at Auburn instead of transferring out. But you had Kobe Hudson leave and go to UCF, who was their leading receiver. Elijah Canyon's gone. So they don't have a lot of production left from last season in that wide receiver room, and it was not a position of strength anyway. Shedrick Jackson did come back, the nephew of Bo Jackson, for his COVID year, but he's not an explosive guy. So, Tarvish Dawson, a guy that saw a little bit of playing time last year, has got a lot of speed. They need him to come into his own, but there's just a lot of questions to answer, both offensively and defensively for this Auburn team, and it's going to be interesting to see if some of them, if they have those answers, if they're satisfied with their progress following A-Day on Saturday.
All right, let's get that first break in. When we come back, we will indeed talk some more Alabama spring football. Ryan Fowler helps us break down scrimmage number 2 coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Good morning from the traffic center. We're still all clear this morning. Traffic building in steadily, but we don't have any wrecks or stalls or traffic signal problems. You be careful on that ride in. Definitely put some extra room in there so you got somewhere to go if something goes wrong. No hose, no mask. You can ask Dr. Sandman, that's Dr. Sandlin, for the medically proven benefits of the Somnodent for sleep apnea and for snoring. Dr. Sandlin, 350-CARE. Captain Nick in the Jordan Lane Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
The Braves are back, and they're on a mission to defend the East, defend the National League pennant, and defend their world title.
Line drive, that is through. It gets through. Here comes Dansby, and the Braves walk it off. This is unbelievable.
Tonight, it's opening day in Atlanta as Matt Olson and the 2022 Atlanta Braves open their season against the Cincinnati Reds. Braves Radio's on the air at 6:50 Eastern, 5:50 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
Hey, Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford back again to talk to you about how easy it is to make a custom factory order. Just click WoodyAndersonFord.com, hit the top banner, then start making your selections. It's really simple, and you'll end up with the exact vehicle you want. Not only is there no extra charge to custom order, but at Woody Anderson Ford, we'll take 5% off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates on the 2022 F-150, Bronco Sport, Explorer, Expedition, and Ranger. Another option for you is a certified pre-owned. We have over 100 Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned models to choose from. Our Ford Gold certified are low mileage, gently used with great warranties. They've passed a 175-point inspection by certified technicians and come with a 24-hour roadside assistance, plus a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Also, don't forget our service department is offering a free pickup and delivery when it's time for your next Ford service. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman, hope to see you soon.
Find your rhythm, feed your rhythm at Rhythm on Monroe. Not just a great restaurant and rooftop bar, but the perfect spot to relax and take in a beautiful scenic downtown sunset on the rooftop or patio. Enjoy Chef Becky Vibbert's fresh and delicious fan favorites like braised beef short rib sliders, seasonally inspired fresh salmon dishes, crispy Brussels sprouts, and fresh baked peach walnut cobbler or chocolate chess pie. Open daily at 4 p.m. with brunch from 11 to 3 on Saturday and Sunday on the corner of Clinton and Monroe in the Von Braun Center. Follow Rhythm on Monroe on Facebook.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
New message.
What up? It's Heather's cousin. You dated her in college, or maybe you were just in the same class. Anyway, I heard you bought a boat, my man. Let's hit the water. Oh, and Heather told me you always liked, snacks and stuff, so I could totally bring some chips.
When you get a boat, you also get new friends. Make sure Progressive's one of them, and get coverage today for as little as $100 a year.
Hey, also, I'm a little short on cash, so can you cover the chips? Thanks. I can see why Heather liked you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
Basketball was originated in America in 1891.
Filling out and busting brackets since the 1970s.
Let this be a reminder to you all that this organization will not tolerate failure.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Chuck Oliver. Listen to me coming up at noon today. Now, back to Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Indeed. Welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, 7:25 on this Thursday morning. Safe travels into work, into school, wherever you may be headed on this Thursday. That first segment kind of got you updated on everything going on today. Plenty of stuff going on. Plenty of stuff going on yesterday. Plenty of stuff going on Saturday. That does include Alabama's second scrimmage of the spring. A scrimmage that is important for a lot of the young guys, especially on that roster. Their big chance. Obviously, they'll have a day, but a big chance for them to see how far they have come in a little bit of time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And our next guest was there at Pro Day, of course, taking in some of the action. He has the longest-running radio show called The Game in the City of Champions in Tuscaloosa on Tide 109. He's someone that we've been praying for. I know he's gone through some situations with his family. I think that's been well documented if you've seen that on social media. But again, his everything is now back to somewhat normal. But again, we send our thoughts and prayers out to our next guest who recently lost his mother. But she was a great lady, someone that supported his career throughout. And he's one of our favorite guests. It's been a while, but it's great to have North Alabama's own Ryan Fowler back with us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Ryan, it's great to have you back, sir. Again, we've had our thoughts and prayers with you here in your native North Alabama, but we know you're glad to be back on the air going strong, and we look forward to talking some Alabama football this morning. How are you?
Absolutely. It is good to be back on with you guys. Appreciate the kind words, thoughts, and prayers, and certainly when you look at Alabama football and sports in general, man, it's a distraction for all of us, and I think that's one of the things that sports does to all of us. It gives us an opportunity, an outlet of outside, and spring football has done that here for all of us, and I'm kind of excited to talk about it and kind of listen to what you guys have to think about Nick Saban's press conference yesterday. A little content there with Nick Saban.
Yes,
we're just. I mean, we listened to it a little bit.
And,
and a lot of it was what you would expect to hear. I mean, the updates on the players and what they need to do and everything like that.
Yep.
I mean, it was all yada 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 stuff. But then he just dropped some money stuff and Aji Hall in there right at the end, right before questions. Just kind of slipped it in there. Ryan, I have no idea what he's talking about when he's talking about the money.
I don't either.
Yeah, we all just sort of looked at each other.
Like, I really don't. I do not have a clue. Okay, is it Alston, A-L-S-T-O-N, or is it A-U-S-T-I-N? Because I can't even do a search for it. I guess I can search for both. But, I mean, what's he talking about? And now hold on just a second. Okay. Go to ESPN. I'm not able to right now. Okay, go to ESPN.com. Hit the college football tab. There's something about academics as far as you can pay your players a certain stipend if they. And I want to say, look at the headlines. I read this article yesterday, but I didn't notice Alabama. So maybe Alabama was missing. He didn't like that. Maybe that's what it was. But if you'll go to ESPN, go to the NCAA football tab, which has now moved back to the top, and we've got basketball down the road. Thank you very much. Get on down the road. I mean, NCAA football was on like another page. You had to go find it. But anyway, we moved it back to the top page, which is good.
Yeah, it's talking about academic bonus payments to athletes this year, and it says that the NCAA changed this rule in August of 2020 to allow schools to pay each of their athletes up to $5,980 per year as a reward for academic performance. It's called the Alston case, A-L-S-T-O-N.
There you go. Okay. So and if you'll hit Control Find and type in Alabama, because I wonder if Alabama is listed as one of those schools. That's probably what he's mad about. But he didn't do a great job of explaining that. But
yeah, it says that the 22 NCAA FBS level schools out of 130 that say they have plans in place to provide. In the SEC right now, there's Arkansas, Auburn, Kentucky, LSU, Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina listed in that list. There's 22 of them, but those are the SEC schools listed. Alabama not among those listed.
Okay. Well, see, three brains together, we're able to figure it out. And I just happened to think about that article, yes, but I did read it. I didn't think about Alabama missing. But Coach Saban, see, that's what makes him so great, the attention to detail. Like, that article really didn't mean anything to me, but it obviously meant something to Nick Saban, and I guess that's where he went. So, okay. But anyway, I know we didn't get it.
Well, that's a topic we did solve the problem, though. We know now what the issue is, so we appreciate your help, Ryan.
Alston case, which is the case that they lost 9-0 in the Supreme Court. That Mark Emmert said was a win last Thursday. He said it provided clarity.
Well, he also said the Kansas City Jayhawks won the national championship in basketball.
I thought they did.
Well, that's the Kansas Jayhawks. Well, anyway.
I'm aggravating you.
I know. But anyway, speaking of aggravating and speaking of lack of attention to detail, it looks like, in my opinion, and I'm sure you hear the same things, you have your ear to the ground in Tuscaloosa, you are nearby in amongst it, but that Aji Hall's turbulent year with the Alabama football program may be coming to a close, and I'm hearing that he will not be here much longer, Ryan.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the consensus down here. It may not be a unanimous, but, I guess if he walked in and said, Coach, I've ultimately screwed up, is there a plan to get me back on the football team? I think you might, listen, I've seen Coach Saban have a lot of forgiveness. But as Coach Saban said, we already tried that method to earn it back on the team, and it didn't work. So when you look at Hall, a lot of talent, a guy that came in as a high-profile guy, which everybody does here in Tuscaloosa if you're recruited to play football here. And he just – and Alabama's not a place for everybody. This competition, it gets to you. And I'm not sure what created the jealousy component I don't know, what created the distraction. But if it was, think about Jermaine Burton for a minute, okay? So you look at Hall, maybe he went in with a mindset of thinking, this is where I'm at on the depth chart. This is what playing time. And then all of a sudden you bring in Jermaine Burton. And, I'm not trying to throw things by any means. You got to take the best player, and especially if a guy like Hall's not going to be ready. But the other part of this transfer portal is it's simple. You have a scholarship, and you have a guy that's not buying in, and he's been here a little bit of time, then you replace him. That's free agency. We have that in college football now. We literally, you kick a guy to the curb because of self-inflicted wounds, and what happens is you go find somebody else if you feel like that you need. But I think with that opportunity, and I know it's Saban math, and they may need the math on the recruiting, but you may go find somebody else that can help your football team in another position. And good Lord, they need help at a couple of key areas.
Mm-hmm, they do.
Well, obviously, the offensive line, people are going to want to look at that on Saturday, interested in how that's progressing through the spring.
Well, I think, Drew said this on my show, and it was the word that I was going to use, work in progress.
Yep.
And I know that's a generic term, and it doesn't really give you anything because, they could be close, 95%, right to 100%. This offensive line has a long way to go. Let's just say it that way. There's some talent there. There's some guys that will give you the opportunity to develop, and I think that's what Nick Saban and Drew, you might be able to fill me in better on this, but it obviously looks like they've missed on some guys. Maybe some guys that they thought would be able to play sooner. They're just not ready yet somehow. And so some of that offensive line, I'm sure Wes could probably do a much better job. It takes a little bit more time. But I kept telling myself, okay, if Chris Owens is playing, what does that tell you? That the guys behind him is not as good or not better. That's why Chris Owens was playing. Yeah, he was an upperclassman and had been a part of that football team, as a fifth-year senior. I think it was a fifth year, but he may have got the COVID year. So
he was actually a sixth-year guy, I think.
He was. So there was nobody out there that was better than he was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kept telling people, I said, guys, that's not a good sign. That's just not a good sign. I mean, because Chris didn't have a good season. I mean, and I know that people say, well, he was out of position, and that's fair. Maybe he was. Maybe he was making a sacrifice for the team. But I think when you take a look back at this team, this offensive line, they got a long way to go. And they got a long way to go. Listen, anybody would struggle against Will Anderson. But my understanding is Will didn't do a lot yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Will was more in a communication role of setting the entire defense. And so he was more of a kind of a coach is what I understand from the people that I spoke to, that, yeah, he's full pads, but it was more working with him on communication, making sure that everybody was lined up in the proper spot, not just his position, but across the board. That was one of the lessons that they were trying to get him of maybe taking that extra step. And that's what Will Anderson, listen, you look at A-Day, I don't know if Will Anderson needs to show anything. I think I want to see more from the tackles, but in fairness, that gives you a true test to see where you're at. But it also destroys your self-confidence when you have to go up against him every day in practice.
It does. We're talking to Ryan Fowler, Tide 109, host of the game from 2 to 6 each Monday through Friday, and talking some Alabama Crimson Tide football in anticipation of scrimmage number 2 on Saturday. And I think you bring up a good point, Ryan. I think they did miss on some offensive tackle recruits. And in some cases, I think they still may be good players. But
Sure.
what Alabama fans have become accustomed to and spoiled is the plug and play even as true freshmen. You know, the Jonah Williams, the Cam Robinsons, the guys like that end up being 3-year and out guys that end up being outstanding. Evan Neal's, they just weren't ready last year. And luckily they had Evan Neal, who's going to be a top 3 pick, I think, in the NFL draft. But the right side struggled. The one good thing is I think J.C. Latham is making progress from what I'm hearing. Anxious to continue to hear how that's going. And then, of course, the left tackle. But as I told some people on Twitter yesterday, and I'm sure you have had callers calling in. I'm not sure all the pieces are in place yet, and that's one Tyler Steen from Vanderbilt.
Well, and Nick Saban could be recruiting too. And
yes,
guys, I don't have access to the transfer portal. I know there's some media members that do, and I'm not jealous of them. I didn't think it had access. Like, I don't know if I can apply for access to the transfer portal, but I know that there's some, and I'm not sure if coaches have just given them, not Alabama coaches, but other coaches, because it's a universal transfer portal. But I asked the question here, is there another tackle prospect out there?
Yeah, great question.
I mean, I don't know because, like I said, I don't have access. It's not supposed to be for media, but I know some of our friends have got it. And like I said, I'm not jealous. I mean, it gives us information. But I was told there was 2,250 names. Well, Brandon Marcello had the article, but then it was updated from like 40 guys this week. So it went from like 2,205 to 2,245. So, and some of those guys have found places. So it's not just all sitting there in a transfer portal. But I just wonder if Nick Saban hung out a shingle, a help wanted sign, and say, looking for whatever, right tackle, left tackle, if he would get more. But I thought this Tyler Steen was supposed to come down last week, or at least that's what we were told, that he would have a decision very soon. I think that really leans Alabama's favor coming off the visit with, the quotes from his father. But when you take a look at Tyler Steen, he's a guy that can, he didn't have Cohen playing beside him at Vanderbilt. And if you look at Vanderbilt, one thing that you would kind of feel comfortable about is Vanderbilt's always behind. And so they're always got to throw the football, right? I mean, so they're throwing the football. When you look at his pass protection, you know that that's probably his specialist. When you think about the amount of, stepping back that he has to do. So I think you'd feel pretty comfortable there. But, hey, if there was a left tackle that fell in your lap or a right tackle that fell in your lap or just another offensive lineman, if they're that short on bodies, I think he said they had 10 right now.
11,
some of that's some of that's because of injuries. But either way, that maybe that's Hall's scholarship. Go find you another tackle out there.
Yeah, the transfer portal, and you bring up the transfer portal, it's really busy after spring practice because the deadline to get in and get into a new school is May 1st. So, I mean, you've got to make up your mind if you want to play this year. So do you think Nick Saban will be busy after spring practice? Do you anticipate that Alabama's going to be real busy in that transfer portal?
Well, I mean, I don't know if real busy, but I do think that they will consider some guys. I mean, if you could always improve your team, and I kept saying this, listen, I don't really know if I like the transfer portal, but if you give Nick Saban a chance to clean up his roster, he comes out of 15 practices. Now, the one thing that's a little bit dumb is this SEC rule because it kind of hurts your conference. Mm-hmm. Like you're not able to go find a transfer. Now, what makes Tyler Steen is he's currently in school at Vanderbilt. He will finish this semester. He'll be a grad transfer. That's why he'll be eligible. It's a different criteria. But let's say you found a sophomore tackle in the SEC. Well, unless he has some kind of exemption and applies to the SEC, that he won't get that exemption. The SEC kind of put their hand behind the back, which is so dumb because the rest of the school, like you could have a top player. Let's just throw out, I don't know, Keyshawn Butte at LSU. Let's just say he put his name in the transfer portal. That's a quality player. You don't want to let him get out of this league. But according to the SEC rules, I think it's February the 3rd. It could be the 1st. But you got to put your name in there. And if it's not in there, then you're not eligible to transfer within the SEC. The May first deadline, that first week in May, a guy could come in and, put his name in the transfer portal and go anywhere he wants as long as he doesn't go in the SEC. Now, he could go in the SEC, but there's a waiting period of 1 year before you're eligible to play.
I'll be interested to see if some players try to move anyway and appeal because I think everything can happen. And of course, the name everyone's thrown around is Keyshawn Butte, but I know LSU wants to hold on to him. I know he and Brian Kelly have not had the greatest relationship from what we hear, but I know LSU would like to do everything in their power to get him back, and because he could be the best wide receiver in the league, and Brian Kelly wants to have a good first season in Baton Rouge. But Tyler Steen, 30 starts on both the right and the left side, versatility, experience, and he's faced SEC-level competition, Ryan, which I think is significant, played against the Georgias of the world, and so he's seen the best. So I think that's one reason why he would be an attractive option for Alabama.
No, absolutely. Yeah, and so if you could play the different position, like I said, you didn't have a Cohen playing beside you that would, provide some help. So, it's there's some guys that I'm sure that are quality, but not Alabama quality when you look at that offensive line. And, Scott, I'd like to go back to what you asked me about that transfer portal.
Right.
This is the other part of Alabama, too, is Nick Saban's got to engage everybody. He's got to make sure that you feel like, and everybody has to across college football, you've got to make sure that you have a role for this player. And so you got to keep those guys engaged, especially beyond that first and second string. You got to tell a guy that he's developing and not to put his name in the transfer portal, because that's another part of it. We talk about gaining guys. If you come out of spring practice and you go, man, I just don't know. And maybe that's where Hall was. Maybe he was frustrated that, where he was on the depth chart, which is some of that self-inflicted. But you go back to this transfer portal, you may lose some guys here. You may have some guys that the newcomers have stepped in, and maybe they've taken up some of that second reps, and you're like, man, I'm getting buried. Here's my chance. And they have that right to do that now with the transfer portal. They could put their name in the hat, and we'll see where that goes. That could be a big thing to watch, as we get into. Not saying it will happen, but it possibly could. And I think that's why you're seeing Nick Saban mention so many names, because he's dropped more names in these press conferences than I can remember. I mean, highlighting guys, talking about guys, and we call that re-recruiting.
Yeah, it really is. And Ryan, last couple of minutes with you. I know you made a very interesting observation about some buzz you heard about Will Anderson being almost more of a coach right now, and we know strongly that we heard he did not participate in the scrimmage this past weekend. They allowed him to sit out and look at some other players. But besides the offensive line and buzz, you're waiting to hear about the progress there in scrimmage too. What are some of the other storylines you're following?
Well, I also heard, I know that we focused on Gibbs a lot.
Jahmyr Gibbs, yep.
Yeah, and when you look at Gibbs coming in as a transfer, but I also continue to hear some great things about Trey Sanders. And it's not just from Nick Saban. It's not just from Trey Sanders himself, but people that I've spoken to say he's had a great spring. Now, there's only one football. What do you do with that talent in that backfield? And I know, listen, when we talk about injuries at that position, that may be the part that you sell, and you sell the durability of, hey, listen, you're not going to have to run it, 45 times a game. We'll leave some tread on the tires when you get to the league. But if you look at that depth at that running back position, guys, this could be a very special group. If Trey Sanders takes that step, Gibbs takes that step, Jace McClellan, Roydell Williams comes back from their injuries and, able to continue making positive direction, that running backfield could really be special. And with Nick Saban talking about that this offensive line is a little better at run blocking than they are pass protection, which you could kind of expect. And that schedule that sets up for you, not that you want to, but you might have a little power football game. And maybe that's just wishful thinking on my part.
I was going to say, you'll love that if they run the football.
Yeah, but, look at the backs. And like I said, I heard Trey Sanders had a great practice yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And so just kind of throwing that out there that, but competition is what makes everybody better. Gibbs makes everybody better because he comes in and he wants your playing time and you don't want to give it up. And that's what makes this place unique is we got competition at every position. And but, hey, I definitely want to mention Auburn's A-Day. We've been taking bets on how many folks will the family get together and sing Kumbaya on Saturday A-Day, their A-Day, or will there nobody show up and protest against Brian Harson's return? That's something I'm going to be watching.
Well, on the free-for-all Friday tomorrow on the game, I'm sure that'll be a big topic of conversation, and I'm sure
we're thinking about going. We're thinking about going
wow.
to an Alabama group as a radio show.
There you
just
go.
Going down and there'll be plenty of seats, and we could just occupy a section.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we just something we're throwing around. We're having fun, but
it's always fun to have you back on, man. We appreciate the time. We know you're going to have a great show later today, 2 to 6 on Tide 109. It'll be the game hosted by the one and only Ryan Fowler. And again, continued thoughts and prayers with your family, but we appreciate the insight. It's always great to talk Alabama football and have you back on, but thank you for joining us this morning for a few minutes.
Hey, absolutely. Scott and Drew and all you guys behind the scenes, and Wes and Steve and Tom, man, you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of the show. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ryan. All right, let's get that break in. We're way behind. We'll get that break in, wrap up hour one when we return.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a new wreck now, 72 westbound, just east of Moore's Mill. Not much to it. It should move quickly. Woodall and Old Trinity in Morgan County should be out of the way completely now. You be careful dealing with a heavy traffic load on all those inbounds. Officers, construction workers, and first responders put their lives on the line every time they step on the roadway. Why not make it safer for them? Move over. It's the law. Captain Nick in the North Parkway Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
At Gibson's Barbecue, they're celebrating 66 years in business. And to show you how much they appreciate you, every Monday and Tuesday through the end of April, they'd like to give you a free slice of pie with the purchase of any meat-topped potato, meat-topped salad, and lunch or dinner plate. A free slice of delicious Gibson's pie. And this week, it gets even better with our Zone deal. Beginning Friday morning, get $50 of delicious Gibson's breakfast, lunch, or dinner for just $25. Our Gibson's Zone deal will be available Friday morning at 97.7ESPN.com.
The PGA Tour's Korn Ferry Tour is coming to the Rocket City. Join us at the Ledges for the Huntsville Championship, April 29th through May 2nd. Experience the beauty and drama of the course firsthand. Witness golf's rising stars chase their PGA Tour dreams. Cheer on the future of golf up close and personal. Tickets are on sale now at HuntsvilleChampionship.com.
If you're an RVer or looking for a strategy to have $1 million lakefront lifestyle on Smith Lake, listen up for this April 9th opportunity. A beautiful private peninsula of Smith Lake has been designated for oversized RV lots. Otherwise, this same property would be home to lakefront mansions. Here are some details. You can own a direct on the lake and dockable RV lot that is wide, private on prime lake frontage for just $99.9. Listen to this. It includes central water, sewer, a pad, dock rights, a clubhouse with swimming pool, showers, washers, and dryers for just $99.9. Just add your RV and boat and live like a millionaire. Now the bad news. We only have 9 parcels. That's it, and they will go fast. Don't hesitate to make the call, or you could miss this rare opportunity. One day only, Saturday, April 9th. Learn more, take a video tour at 877bigview.com, then call 877-BIG-VIEW to confirm your early appointment on Saturday, April 9th. Call or click 877bigview.com.
If you need a car, McCurry Motors is ready to put you in a quality vehicle, and in-house financing is available. If you have a job, McCurry Motors will work with you even if you have a bankruptcy, divorce, or bad credit. Visit McCurrySaysYes.com. Every car comes with a warranty, and they report to the credit bureau. With 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens, call 256-230-0232, or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville. Call 256-713-0575.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Welcome back. Talkin Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. And it is official underway. The 86th edition of the Masters is underway. And we have a leader in the clubhouse, as we should. Jose Maria Olazabal out in front as he birdies hole number 1 to go to 1 under. JJ Spawn pars his first hole, so he is even, but the 86th edition of the Masters is officially underway. The next threesome is just about ready to finish up hole number 1, and that is Mike Weir from Canada. Then you have Padre Harrington and an amateur on the list, Austin Greaser from the United States. That's the second threesome, or the first threesome of the day on the course right now. They're about ready to finish up hole number 1. Stewart Cink will go off again at 8:36. Tiger Woods will go off a little bit later this morning. He'll go off at 10:04. Your defending champion, Hideki Matsuyama, will go off right behind Tiger Woods, along with Justin Thomas at 10:15.
And we'll be definitely following Justin Thomas. It'd be awesome to see the former University of Alabama golfer and national champion get his first green jacket. I know he played a practice round the other day with Tiger, and the University of Alabama golf team was there and had a chance to watch it. If you heard Hey Coach, that we always have each week here on 97.7 The Zone, being a part of the Crimson Tide Sports Network, that Jay Sewell talked about that. But, of course, Tiger, even on a practice round, was surrounded, and they couldn't get to Justin Thomas. But this is what really the whole week has been about, the return of Tiger Woods and the 17 months away. And really, even a month ago, this wasn't even fathomed that he would be here playing. And so it's creating worldwide headlines. And if he makes the cut and gets to the weekend, it will be an unbelievable atmosphere.
For Thomas, this week is putting. Thomas does not putt well at Augusta National. That is no secret. That is not something that he does very well at Augusta. He's not alone, though. There are several golfers that do not putt well at the Masters. He is a 12-1 favorite going into the week right now, is Justin Thomas. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Xander Schauffele is around a 20-1 favorite. Kevin Kisner's a 100-1. So some of the names to keep an eye on: Dustin Johnson, John Rahm. Some of the names there. Tony Finau has been, when it comes to the Masters, been kind of hanging around there.
Oh, it's an under-the-radar guy.
Yeah, one of those guys that you can't kind of overlook. Tiger Woods, I don't know what to think about Tiger. I think it's
polarizing.
A victory if he gets into the weekend.
I do too. I agree.
But somehow it wouldn't surprise me if he finds a way to hang around there near the middle of the pack. I mean, I don't know what to think, because
we haven't seen him play.
The last time we doubted him, he went on to win the Masters. I mean, it was like, okay, what do you think? And then all of a sudden he wins the thing. I don't know. I mean, it's unbelievable that he is there. And I guess we should be happy that he's playing on Thursday and Friday and take it for what it is, and that it's great just to have Tiger be a part of the Masters.
Well, and the medical team that worked on him and got him back. I mean, it's amazing what they did. And it's a testament to his work and his status as an athlete and his talent as to what he's done to get back and have a chance to compete at his favorite tournament.
We talked about this, and this just came into my head because when we were talking about Tiger Woods' injury, the one person that we kept talking about was Alex Smith because this was similar to the Alex Smith injury. Alex Smith played a game this past year, started a game for the Washington football team. It was...
Well, actually, that was not the season before. Yeah. Then he retired. But, yes, he did come all the way back, yes.
He came all the way back.
Correct.
I mean, is just as big as Alex Smith coming back and starting for Washington, Tiger Woods teeing it up at the Masters?
I would say so because it's not like he's going to be able to use a golf cart to get around. He's going to have to walk the course, the hills, up and down, everything. So if he can come back and make it to the weekend and contend, it's absolutely just as big a deal. And that's why it would be one of the highest-rated Masters ever on television, you would think. I mean, these networks and these businesses that are advertising are going to just see a windfall.
All right, so if you're walking the players that are walking the Masters, this is so Tiger Woods on average today when he walks, and this is what the players would do. It is going to be between 7 and 8 miles that they will walk.
And that's
today.
significant. I mean, when you're having leg injuries, I mean, that's even more like in the NFL. In between series, you can go sit down. Okay?
Yeah.
Even though now 300-pound guys like Aaron Donald aren't chasing you to try to maim you and sack you, but still, you have to walk continuously for hours.
So if you're walking hole number one, just for because the Masters is so hilly, TV does not do it any justice.
Yeah.
It is like walking 3 floors.
Oof.
Just on hole number 1, it's like walking 3 floors. If you're walking hole number 4 or hole number 5, Magnolia, it is like walking 4 floors.
I'm telling you, it's going to be something.
That is just some of the stuff there. All right. When we get back with hour number 2, we're going to check in with Jimbo Fisher and talk recruiting with Jimbo. He was asked about it yesterday. He'll tell us today.
Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a wreck on 72 westbound just west of Shields. No injury reported. And one in Decatur, Chestnut, and Railroad. That one also reported as a no injury. Do your methods to lose weight no longer work for you? 7 different hormones can make it impossible for you to lose weight. Find out with a free quiz at 2030huntsville.com. Captain Nick in the North Parkway Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Thursday, expect most
mostly sunshine. High temperatures topping out in the low to mid 60s for the afternoon. We could also see gusty wind as high as 25 miles per hour. For your Thursday night, a partly cloudy sky. Low temperatures fall into the lower 40s. Our next rain chance looks to come on Friday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
Major League Baseball, the Atlanta Braves opening up the season today at Truist Park as they face the Cincinnati Reds. The Braves will be starting Max Fried while the Reds counter with Tyler Mahle. The Reds are getting a run and a half, minus 115 on the run line, Atlanta minus 105. On the money line, Atlanta minus 191, while Cincinnati is at plus 175. The over-under run total is at 8. Masters underway at Augusta National today. John Rahm, the betting favorite, at plus 1,200. Justin Thomas at plus 1,300. And 3 golfers at 1,500. Scotty Scheffler, Dustin Johnson, and Cameron Smith. For vsin.com, I'm Tony Desiri, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
It is hour 2 of Talkin Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Happy Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome in. 256-576-4977. That is the number 2. The Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. And what do you have going on April 8th? And why do I bring up April 8th? Because that is tomorrow. Maybe, just maybe, I doubt there are any tickets left. But if you can get a hold of one, you can drive over to Starkville.
Uh-oh.
You ready for this one?
Yeah.
You can sit in on a class called Insurgent Warfare and Football Strategy.
Uh-oh.
It is going to be led by one Mike Leach.
Yeah.
It is a one-time class tomorrow at 5:30. Mike Leach is going to teach a class called Insurgent Warfare and Football Strategy. He's not going to be alone, though. He is going to be, it's going to be a co-instructed class. Mr. Baumgartner, it is going to be assisted by, I had his name right here. But anyway, you can go on to, it's going to be assisted by Michael Baumgartner, a Washington State Senator and current Spokane, Washington County Treasurer. But Mike Leach is going to be teaching a class. It's free. You just got to have a ticket to get into it.
Definitely won't be boring, I'm sure.
Mike Leach says there are things you have that are strengths you want to utilize, and then there are more strengths you can discover and utilize. The more vulnerabilities you can find on an opponent, and better off you will be. So Mike Leach teaching a one-time class tomorrow at Mississippi State. He would be at the top of the list. If I was wanting a football coach to sit in and listen and be entertained, Mike Leach would be near the top of the list for me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he would be must hear. I mean, there's no telling how he would equate it to and what maybe Napoleon Bonaparte or something that he would bring up in past history. I mean, he's a guy that is a voracious reader and loves history, so there's no telling what kind of parallels he would draw teaching this class.
All right, 256-576-4977. The number to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Would you attend a class coached by or taught by Mike Leach to listen to, or what other coach out there would you want to sit in and listen to talk about let's see here, to talk about insurgent warfare and football strategy. What other college football coach would you want to sit in and
I'd love to listen to a class on recruiting strategy by Jimbo Fisher, the most overrated coach in America.
Well, you went there because that's where we're going. That is exactly where we're going.
Great segue
next.
there, huh?
Yes, because Jimbo Fisher, obviously spring football going on for the Texas A&M Aggies. Jimbo Fisher has his hands full because, one, Haynes King, the quarterback, yes, for Texas A&M, most likely, but there are other needs and there are other things that Jimbo Fisher is really trying to work on this spring for Texas A&M because he's got to make that leap. He's got to make that leap to get in to the SEC championship.
According to the On3 power rankings in the spring, I don't know how they come up with this, but they're third.
Well, that's not an improvement from where
it is.
Jimbo
They lost
needs
4
to be.
last year. They lost all of them in their division. They really sucked.
But Jimbo Fisher,
they beat Alabama, but that was luck. Let's
call it what it is. He's got to get there. I mean, he's got to get to the top. He's got to get there eventually. It has to get done.
Yeah, I'm calling it a fluke. It was a fluke. I think they're going to get their ass whipped.
But Jimbo Fisher was asked yesterday about all of the external noise still being talked about when it comes to Texas A&M producing this top-ranked class.
Yeah.
Here is Jimbo Fisher's response.
I'd ask somebody else.
From other coaches, from fan bases, and so forth.
Oh, I don't know. They guess they haven't done it as much. Just have to get used to it. Just have to keep doing it. Have to keep recruiting. But it ain't like we've been in the top 5 or 6 every year, 4, 5, or 6 every year. And then whatever they feel and say. I don't worry about somebody else unless they. And like I said before, all the things that went on had nothing to do with NIL, had nothing to do with all the other, and because that's what they were accusing us of. And I think NIL and transfer portal is truly affecting college football. But that wasn't the case with us. That's why I said what I said on the other. So I don't know. You have to ask them more so than you have to ask me. Well, hopefully we'll keep doing it and making them all mad.
Do you tell your guys and your staff to embrace it?
I don't worry about it. I don't even think about it. Okay. Who cares? The only reason I said it, the only thing I ever said before was because it was directly pointed at us. Had nothing to do with it. Do I think NIL is an issue out there? Yes. Do I think transfer portal is an issue out there? Yes. And how it goes on and what the regulations, there's no doubt. But those were pointed figures right at us is why I made those statements, because that's unfair to the kids who got recruited. That's unfair to their families, and that's unfair to the staff that recruited them. And that's and unfair to Texas A&M. That's the only reason I brought that up.
But it still is, like with the addition of overtime, it comes all back up again.
I don't have social media, so it comes up to you. I don't hear that. I'm not. Huh? I got one thing. I don't have my phone. I got one news app that'll have, like for world news. That I'm bored. I hit that. I can hit that and say, okay, there's something like what was going on in the world. Other than that, I don't. So it's up again. It's a bad thing or a good thing. Well, here's the other thing. We've been in the middle of it. The young man was born here. The guy was born in College Station. Grew up watching games, going to this. He was a huge Florida State fan. He came to my camp when he was 10, 11 years old, 12 years old. People didn't know that. And was in the high school camp. Back then. I've known his dad. Family worked here. His dad was an AD at A&M, Florida A&M, or assistant AD at Florida A&M. And brought him to camp. I've known the family forever and ever and ever. So, and we're doing real good. So.
8-4 is real good.
There you go, Jimbo Fisher.
And by the way, that was our good friend asking those questions, Brent Zverneman, who, of course, broke the Oklahoma, Texas news, came on our show in Hoover from his hotel room, and, of course, has been on with us again from the Houston Chronicle. He's an outstanding reporter, okay? He's an Aggie to the core, and I respect the heck out of him, but he was asking questions that need to be asked. I appreciate that. He's an outstanding journalist. Jimbo Fisher is a liar. Because guess what? if you put a lie detector on him, he would fail miserably. That's all I'm going to say. Nothing to do with NIL. What are you saying, you idiot? Do you think we're all stupid out there? Give me a break. I know Overton went to your camp when he was, 10, 11 years old, whatever. You knew the family. Give me a break.
Who's he talking about? Is it
L.T. Overton?
Okay.
Who basically was the number one prospect in 2023. He reclassified to 2022, and he went to and signed with A&M the other day. A 5-star defensive lineman. His dad worked at the University of Alabama for Nick Saban. His mother still worked at the University of Alabama, but he grew up his whole life because he was born in College Station, wanting to be an Aggie and lose 4 games a year. We're doing real good. You beat Alabama, clown. You didn't do anything else. You finished 4th in your division. You didn't beat Ed Ogeron last year. Let me say that again. You didn't beat Ed Ogeron last year, you joke. Better buckle your chin straps up when you come to Tuscaloosa, pal. That's all I'm going to say. Because you got a reckoning coming. You know you can take your NIL and you can stick it up your rear end.
Has nothing to do with NIL.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Jimbo Fisher asked.
And I like the color orange.
You wear it a lot.
Oh, I do. Love it.
Oh, 25657.
Oh, and I love the Dodgers, by the way, too.
4977. That's the number to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. I thought you'd love Jimbo Fisher. I thought you'd love listening to him talk about that and saying
biggest joke in coaching. He and Will Wade.
But Jimbo, though, has a national championship to his cap. He does have that. I mean, in all sense and purposes, if it's taken a little while for him to build that at A&M, if he goes out this year and finishes second in the SEC West, obviously it's moving in the right direction because it's not 4 games, but realistically, does Jimbo Fisher have to finish in not the top
He has to win the division and get to the playoff and win a championship to be worth any of the money that they're paying the joke.
In how soon?
Within 2 years.
Within 2
sorry.
years.
Ed Ogeron won one, and the dude is far from a genius. So for what they're paying this guy to lie through his teeth, he needs to at least get to the playoff and play for a national championship, if not win one.
If not this year, next year.
At least Kirby won one. Okay? Kirby, as much as I've criticized him, they can finally put the VHS tapes in a glass case and put them away for Herschel Walker. They're finally national champs in 41 years. You're talking about a drought. Heck, that was 1980. These jokes haven't won anything since 1939.
So is Jimbo Fisher on the
1939.
Is he on the same path as Kirby Smart? Is it going to take him
He's
that
the
long
next
to
one.
get it?
He's the next one that's got to back it up, man. He's got to, especially with this recruiting class. He can talk about, and yes, they really were in the top 5 or 10. They were recruiting well, but they didn't have a runaway train number 1 class until NIL came along. Okay, let's understand that. These guys have got the biggest salary cap. They're the new freeze of college football right now because everybody knew all these dudes weren't growing up wanting to be a rebel. Okay? Growing up in Chicago, Illinois, always wanting to go to Ole Miss. Robert Kimdichie, one of the best prospects I've ever seen in my life, went to Ole Miss, became a good player, not a great one because he made the wrong decision. If he goes to Alabama, he ends up a national champion and the number 1 pick in the draft. He ends up a first-round pick and playing in a Sugar Bowl because, and they beat Alabama twice, so at least he did have success against the Tide. But again, if he goes to Alabama, I think he's still playing in the NFL. He's in a program where they develop him as a person and player off the field. Instead, he took the money, ran to Ole Miss, and again, when it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck, it's a duck. We knew that Ole Miss was cheating. They crashed and burned under Hugh Freeze. And now, I don't know if Texas A&M's going to.
I don't think we're saying Texas A&M is cheating.
Because they're not, because it's NIL.
Yes, they're different than what Ole Miss was
the only reason they're getting these players, though, is because they're paying them NIL money. And they have great facilities. But it's not because of what a great program Jimbo Fisher has. He loses 4 games a year. It's called mediocrity. I mean, I don't care that he beat Alabama. So what? Wow, you beat them one time. Congratulations. It's the first time since Johnny Boy was at quarterback. And you still had to have everything go right to win it one time. Let's see if you can do it again. My bet is you won't. So maybe he'll back it up. Maybe they'll beat Alabama. Maybe they'll climb the mountaintop. I doubt it because I don't think he's a good enough coach. I think he's one of the most overrated dudes in the world, except for the 1 year at Florida State. Mediocrity. Remember, it was going to be the greatest opener ever when Florida State played Alabama. And then when the carnage was over, it was 24-7 and his program fell apart.
He lost his quarterback that game, though, too.
The Crimea River. Alabama lost a lot of guys last year. Had the best team in America when they were healthy. It's part of football. And he couldn't deal with it because he had 1 foot out the door trying to get to A&M and get paid a ton of money that Florida State wouldn't pay him because Florida State probably figured out that it was luck, too.
Let's go to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Wolverine Dan with us. Good morning, sir.
Drew, I want you to close your eyes, Drew. Take a deep breath and then inhale that beautiful sea surf in 80-degree weather, sunshine, because that's what I'm breathing in right now.
I was going to say, you must be on vacation, Dan, even though you've earned it now being happily retired.
Well, I'm in Key West, my man, but
there you go.
Drew, you need to come down here, man, because right now you're a little hot, brother. I appreciate your passion, but I worry about you, bro. You don't get a stroke or nothing, but, I'm with you at that. And I see, Drew, this is what's going on right now. They're doing stuff like this with the NI money and whatnot. And I knew this was going to happen. We both knew this was going to happen. It tarnishes and ruins the game of football or anything in life. When money's involved, Drew, and big money, corruption and crap follows it. And you know what? I'm like you. The only reason why I might make it through this talk is because I can close my eyes and go back in the sun and just have a good time. But the thing is, Drew, I'm with you, man. I'm tired of this crap. This goes further than football and sport. This is just the inner. It's like the Roman Empire. We're crumbling from within, Drew, is what we're doing.
Well, yeah, but unless
it's regulated.
Okay, we give Mark Emmert a hard time on this show, and rightfully so, because
Kansas City Jayhawks.
Yes, because of stupid moments like that. But I can see now where Mark Emmert really needed Congress to step in and do something, because if there is not an overall legislation done to NIL, because it is way more than just the NCAA saying this, and this, it is going to continue to spiral out of control. And I don't agree with Mark Emmert 99% of the time, but this time here, getting some national legislation on NIL, I can see why he needs Congress's help, because this is way bigger than just Mark Emmert saying this has to happen for NIL.
Well, my biggest thing, though, with the Mark Emmert and the NCAA, as usual, though, they didn't even – once they lost the court case, the Ed O'Bannon case, they should have been working hand in hand trying to get something put together. And that's all the NCAA ever does is they're reactive and not proactive.
The problem here, fellas, is this, and I'll hang up after this.
Yes, sir.
You want to give all this control to the government? Oh, my God. They're worse than them. Okay, and I see, the money, whatnot. Judy, it's hard to find people. I listen to you guys, and you guys are straightforward, honest human beings. And, money corrupts a lot of people, but I can honestly say in my heart to heart that if it ever came to you guys, you would say, you're getting paid a salary anyway, doing what you're doing. And whatever it could be, working for a college in the administration or whatever. But the point is this. We need some honest people that are going to do this correctly. And obviously it did not fall that way. And look what's going to happen. And you're right. It's only going to get worse until something steps in. And then that person or person step in will probably be the government. And they're just as corrupt as the people they're trying to stop from being corrupt. You understand what I'm saying? It's the fox guarding the hen house, right?
Yeah. I see your point.
Gentlemen, I enjoyed the show. Thank you. I got a different perspective listening to you in my bathing suit on the ocean.
Well,
we got a different perspective of you now listening to us in your bathing suit, and that's quite okay.
I look a lot better than most 60s.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Dan. It was good to see you the other day. Thank you.
So Wolverine Dan with us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977. Yeah, I mean, I agree. NIL has to change. Congress probably does need to come in because it is way bigger than one institution trying to make a change to it. But the NCAA waited way too long in going to Congress to try to get that change made. All right, Shane in Decatur with us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Good morning, Shane.
How are you, Shane?
Oh, hey, good morning, guys. Sorry, it hooked up as soon as it beeped.
Okay, no worries.
Well, guys. So yeah, I want to talk some Braves a little bit, and let's cool it down a little bit, Drew. Have you guys heard? Because I haven't heard anything yet. Who's going to be our DH, or who Snit's thinking about sticking in that spot? Because I don't want Ozuna playing in the outfield.
Bill Shanks joined us yesterday from the Superstations.com, and he mentioned Wilson Contreras, who's considered a really good offensive catcher. And I think Contreras is going to see some time at DH, probably going to rotate with Ozuna there at the start of the season. Because, again, I don't think they want to play Ozuna a ton in the outfield if they don't have to. Not going to have Ronald Acuna back until May, perhaps, is when he'll be back patrolling right field. But, again, every day. But I think I think Wilson Contreras could see some time there.
Oh, okay. Well, they actually had him playing. I was watching all the spring training, playing in the outfield. Smith's trying to move him around and get him some experience in other positions.
Yeah.
Which is very, very smart. But yeah, so it's opening day today, fellas. Let's rejoice, be happy, and thank God for baseball. You guys have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, real fast, let's get to Jason. Good morning, Jason.
What's up, man?
Hey, good morning. Not much. You was talking about Texas A&M. I went to the baseball series this weekend and had a buddy in with some of the Texas A&M fans. They are living off that win they had last
I'm
year.
sure.
Yeah, he kept running his mouth. Somehow I got said it was the Texas A&M group over there, and I sat there and bit my lip all weekend. And then Saturday, after Alabama went up 7-1, he got really bad. And I finally just looked over at him. I said, "You all go by and look at the trophy case, and then you'll appreciate some football then." Oh, he got real upset with me.
Well, I mean, it's the truth. They haven't won anything since 1939.
Oh, yeah. And I explained that to him, and that didn't make it better. My daughter finally hit me in the shoulder and told me to shut up, and we both going to end up going to jail probably.
Yeah, and as far as our previous caller too, watch Alex Dickerson. He's an outfielder that the Braves brought in as a kind of a minor league guy. They signed him as a free agent. Late during spring training, and he's probably going to be one of their guys. Mostly he's going to be a bench guy when Acuna gets back, but he'll get some playing time early.
Yeah, do you like the National League DH rule this year? I don't like it. It seems like it takes out the strategy in the ball game. How long you leave a pitcher in when he's doing real well, say the game's 0-0 going into the seventh, and the pitcher comes up to bat. I mean, it takes all the strategy out of the ball game, the coaching.
Well, I don't mind it, Jason. I'm an offensive guy. I like to see hitting and offense, so I'm perfectly fine because on every other level of baseball, when you think of college baseball, you think of high school baseball, and whatnot. On the amateur level, the DH is alive and well. So the only time you didn't have a DH was in the National League, and so I'm perfectly fine with the change. And I thought it was during the COVID year, I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, y'all have a good morning.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, UAH head softball coach Les Studeman cranks up the show next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We have had a few minor accidents around this morning. Had one in Decatur, Chestnut and Railroad. Still may be trying to clear it. One on 72 westbound west of Shields. That one reported as a no injury, just been slowing things down a bit. Snelling needs accountants, tellers, and admin assistants, full, part-time, and temp. Huntsville.snelling.com. Captain Nick in the 72 and Jeff Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
If you're an RVer or looking for a strategy to have $1 million lakefront lifestyle on Smith Lake, listen up for this April 9th opportunity. A beautiful private peninsula of Smith Lake has been designated for oversized RV lots. Otherwise, this same property would be home to lakefront mansions. Here are some details. You can own a direct on-the-lake and dockable RV lot that is wide, private, on prime lake frontage for just $99.9. Listen to this. It includes central water, sewer, a pad, dock rights, a clubhouse with swimming pool, showers, washers, and dryers for just $99.9. Just add your RV and boat and live like a millionaire. Now the bad news. We only have 9 parcels. That's it, and they will go fast. Don't hesitate to make the call, or you could miss this rare opportunity. One day only, Saturday, April 9th. Learn more. Take a video tour at 877bigview.com. Then call 877-BIG-VIEW to confirm your early appointment on Saturday, April 9th. Call or click 877bigview.com.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
I love overpriced stuff. Avocados, designer t-shirts, artisanal water. That's why I get my internet from the other guys. Paying more for the same stuff. What could be better?
Wow is better. For just $19.99 a month, we give you the super fast, extra reliable internet you need. Act now before this deal is gone. Internet 100 for just $19.99 a month. Plus, learn how to get up to $300 on us. Sign up at Huawei.com. Wow. Limited to new customers with autopay and paperless billing. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Online at 977ESPN.com.
Stream them online.
Call in.
It's an important job, and it's an vital organization.
Tweet in and join in. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now more of Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on your home for Crimson Tide Sports 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Time to talk some UAH softball thanks to our good friends at Sports Med Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. They are the proud training providers for the UAH Chargers, and they do invite you to visit their Saturday sports clinic for all of those sports-related injuries each Saturday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Visit 4715 Whitesburg Drive. It's the Sports Med Saturday Sports Clinic. and they are helping us talk UAH softball this morning with UAH head coach Les Studeman, who tells us that she's got a Jimbo Fisher story as well.
Coach, welcome back to the show. I can't wait to hear this story.
I'm sorry. I think Drew really does need to talk about D2 softball right now because we got to settle him down. But this isn't going to settle you down anymore, Drew.
Right. Okay.
My freshman year of college, I played volleyball and softball at Sanford.
Ah, yes.
So that crossed over with Jimbo's, like one of his last years there.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And as a player, so like when he had hair. And
this is
he
great.
Was a god. I mean, like a 5'6" god. Okay, a god. My roommate, I was a roommate and suite mates with a set of twins, and like they could have been the double mint twins, and they were on the volleyball team, and so that they were gorgeous, and he hung out with them a lot, so I got to hang around him a lot. I was not in that circle. I wasn't a double mint. I didn't hang out with them. They were my roommates. They were my friends. But, like, that was his circle. And I'm going to tell you, like, anyway, we had a very good time at Sanford. But, Drew, I will say, I do want to say, make one comment, just one thing.
Sure.
But, if you look at what FSU has done since he left, I think it does show. I think that they really did kind of drop the ball on support in
some ways. Yes, I agree.
In terms of, and who they were competing with, that Clemson just came out of nowhere and just started spending tons of money once they won, and he couldn't get FSU to buy into that. But anyway, just in terms of what's happened since they've left, I think it does show he's a pretty good coach. But listen, he was.
We'll just go. He had hair. We'll just go with he had hair.
He had hair. That's what we'll say.
Oh boy.
So yeah. Anyway, it was, and then on the NIL, that's the NCAA lets everything get completely out of control before it ever gets mandated. Yep. And that it's. I wanted to ask you guys. Did you see the story on WAFF yesterday reported about the Grambling volleyball coach?
Yes, I saw that. I read about it in an article that she came in. She was a new head coach. She came from another SWAC school, and basically told all of the team that they were no longer part of the team. If my understanding is correct, that she basically let everybody go from the team, every player.
Yeah, she cut every single player, cut every scholarship, has already signed 14 new players for next year. And I just think it's interesting. I'm not advocating what she did, but I just wondered if you guys saw the quote from the AD, which was just like the athletes have the transfer portal, to use to better their situation. Coaches have scholarships, which you never see that. You never see anybody say that. You never hear that. And anyway, I thought portal talk is right now in big time basketball, but we are, we're getting them out there. We're not getting them in. And the thing is we're still kind of in it. We're not in the thick of winning the league, but we could still, if we could maintain some consistency, get in the top three and get a good draw for the tournament, and make a run there at the end. It's a tough conference in the road in every single sport. It really, really is. And so we've got half our games left on the road, half our games at home. And what I've told our kids is let's hold court at home and try to win a game or two on the road, which is never usually the way we approach it. Usually we're pissed if we don't win every game. So the league is good. These kids I have on this team are really, really good, They're working hard, but the teams we're facing are great too. So that in terms of what we need to do, if I could point to one thing, I would, the bottom of our lineup, if we could get some run production and some RBI production there, I think that we could get our momentum going.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that home and away. You were able to sweep Mississippi College at home this past weekend, and you were looking to carry that momentum into games this week, but that got rained out with Young Harris. So now you got to go back on the road, and just all to your points, you got the 3 at home. Now you got to go to West Florida and try to just put a W or 2 on the column.
Yeah, West Florida is one of the top 3 hardest places to play in the league, and the coach is a young coach. I mentor her on some things. She's played there, so I've known her for a long time, and she's like, man, we got a whole ton of stuff going on this weekend with us coming there. They do their alumni weekend when we come down there. They do their giveaways when we come down there, and so it's bragging and complaining at the same time. But like every game, it feels like every place we go, that's the game they mark for everybody to come to. And that, again, it's a brag and a complaint.
Well, it's because of the success your program has had, Coach. A lot of people, we talked to Patrick Murphy yesterday, and he was talking about all the sellouts they've had on the road. It's kind of like, and he equated it to being like they feel like the Beatles sometimes because the fan support's so good. Well, it obviously the teams around the league know how good UAH has been and is every year. So I think they can draw their best crowds when you guys come to town.
Yeah, well, I think they want their best crowd when we play, and it's obviously nothing like what Alabama's facing when they have to go on the road. I mean, what's happening in big time college softball is just absolutely incredible and amazing, and so because it is such a great sport, and it was a huge part of that happening. But yes, it is just I don't know how it would be interesting to see to feel how that feels, because just how loud it is, even with just 2,000 people there. I think I saw something where they had like over 11,000 people go to to their Georgia series. I mean, those kids on the field have got to be wearing earplugs or something. It is so loud.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach.
Just interesting. Women we don't grow up playing that way. So when you get to that level, I just love to. It's just an incredible experience.
When we talk Alabama, there's a magic number in the SEC about getting to the NCAAs and all that other stuff. If you can reach like X amount of conference wins and be around 500, I mean it's so strong that can propel you into the NCAA tournament. The Gulf South Conference is one of the best at softball. You're 10-8 right now in the conference, 20-13 overall. Is there a magic number that you're looking at and saying if we can get X amount of conference
you're going
wins,
to the NCAA.
that we should be in the region ranking, should be up there to get a bid?
I don't think that is a number we need to be talking about right now. I think
winning.
We're far off of that. Yes, I think we need to take care of Game 1 at West Florida. The thing that is, with Scott, this, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
We're not competing against 64 teams in the country. We're competing against our league in the Sunshine Conference. And the thing with the Sunshine Conference this year is they, for the first time in a very long time, have 4 teams at the top of their league. Usually 1 or 2. But this year they're going to have multiple teams. Last year they got 1 team in the regional. The year before they got 2. So you're looking at fewer spots. For UAH, we have got to focus on 1 game at a time. And we're sort of in the same position men's basketball was at the turning point where we can see ourselves there, but we have a lot of work to do to get there.
Yeah, no doubt, Coach. But I will say, you've told us repeatedly, you just talked about the SEC and softball, how good it is, but the GSC, and you referenced it, how good the league is. It's the best Division II league in the country, so that's why it's just a game-to-game focus, because it's hard to look ahead with how good everyone is.
It's so hard. I mean, I honestly, before this year, we had lost one series in the last 4 years, and I mean,
wow.
that to me is like one each year, just one each year, and it's so tough. It is so tough, and everybody's good, and everybody's got pitching, everybody's got a really great top of the lineup, and being able to execute 1 through 9 is so critical, and you just don't know what things are, what it's going to turn on. But yeah, the GSC is by far and away. The Lone Star is really good too. They're deep as well, but the GSC is by far and away the deepest conference in the country. And anyway, anybody who comes from our conference into the NCAA tournament has a chance to advance and move forward and get in a position to win.
We do want to shed a little bit of light though on Sadie Thompson. The first UAH player this year to get Freshman of the Week. All she did was bat .545 with a .643 on-base percentage. She's from Moulton, so she's right here, a North Alabama native. What a week she had against Mississippi College.
Yeah, great week. She has been flirting with doing that all year. She's our freshman center fielder, and she – Lawrence County kids, so, they're hard-nosed, used to winning at everything. So that she definitely brings that hard-nosed flavor to us. She had the 545 is good, but the key thing is she had a 2-out RBI against Mississippi College in game 1 that we just have not been getting from anybody except for Ackles and Ball. And that I feel like that is something we can really build on. It and hitting it. This game, the game I coach, is so contagious. Offense is so contagious, and so I feel like that was it was like poking a pin in a balloon and just letting the air out. It just felt so good. It just really helped us win that first game. And if you got your pick, she can fly too. By the way, so if you got her on base, we can get her to second without sacrifice, and we can get her to second on a steal, and she can score easy on a base hit. So that's another. She's a fantastic athlete. She's an absolute kid that matches my competitive fire, and she wants to be great. And I'm so happy for her to get recognized for her week, because it was a great week for her.
Well, Coach, I know game 1 of this series coming up will be Saturday in Pensacola against West Florida at 1 o'clock. How key is it to winning this road series and getting game 1?
Well, game 1, our 5th-year senior, who's 5th program and wins for us, starts that game 1, and when she is right, we have a chance to win. And if it's just, if she doesn't, when she pitches great, we have a chance. It feels like we're going to win all 3 games, which I hate to put that kind of pressure on her, because gosh knows she has taken the ball in some huge moments over her career. But that's just sort of how it feels. Like the first game is just critical, because we feel like, her first shot is our best shot to win. Of course, they're pitching their best shot to win too. But she's just such a competitor. She's won so many games for us. She just battles and fights. And even though sometimes she gets herself in trouble, she's like Houdini, man. She gets out of so many jams, and that it's important just because we kind of go as she goes, and it sets the tone for the weekend.
It certainly does. It'll be a doubleheader Saturday, then game 3 at 1 o'clock on Sunday at West Florida.
Yep.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time this morning. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Jimbo Fisher had hair. Love that.
Jimbo Fisher had hair. I'm going to try to leave y'all with a good quote every time I come on. And Jimbo Fisher had hair was It's the one for this week.
I don't know how we're going to top that one.
I don't either. That's been the highlight of the show.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck. Safe travels. Get a series win
All
over
right,
there.
talk to you later.
Thank you. Never boring. Always great insight from Coach Les
Studeman with us. Today's interview brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. Give them a call today, 256-881-5151, to experience that SportsMed difference. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives with or without hair. We'll give you your tomorrow's headlines today when we return.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Find your rhythm, feed your rhythm at Rhythm on Monroe. Not just a great restaurant and rooftop bar, but the perfect spot to relax and take in a beautiful scenic downtown sunset on the rooftop or patio. Enjoy Chef Becky Fibbert's fresh and delicious fan favorites like braised beef short rib sliders, seasonally inspired fresh salmon dishes, crispy Brussels sprouts, and fresh baked peach walnut cobbler or chocolate chess pie. Open daily at 4 p.m. with brunch from 11 to 3 on Saturday and Sunday on the corner of Clinton and Monroe in the Von Braun Center. Follow Rhythm on Monroe on Facebook.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, Managing Partner at University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Madison Academy football. Stop into the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com to view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see you in a Kia. Go Mustangs!
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
We're beginning to wind things down pretty quick now. Haven't picked up anything new accident-wise. Everything from earlier should be out of the way. Just a lot of folks scrambling trying to get in on time this morning. From routine care to heart failure, Dr. Randall Burns and the team at Huntsville Heart Specialist have the expertise to care for all matters of the heart. Captain Nick in the 72 and Jeff Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right, welcome back in Talking Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And really, when you're looking at headlines, there's really only two big headlines going on for tomorrow. And that is one, the 86th edition of the Masters is underway. And through 4 holes, Padre Harrington is your leader in the clubhouse right now at 2 under.
Pre-drag Harrington. Hadn't heard that name in a long time.
2 other golfers sitting at 1 under. Garrick Hygo is 1 under through 2. He is playing 3. And another one from Italy is 2 under. Guido Miglizoe or whatever.
Must be related to the Czar.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because he's Italian. They're all related.
You can't say all Italians are related.
Well, in some ways. I don't know.
He had hair.
Yeah, there you go. That's the new quote. Jimbo had hair.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other golfers are even on the course. We've got 3. We got 5 that are 1 over right now. 1, 2 over. And Olazabal off to a great start. Jose Maria, what did you say your dad said? Where's the ball? Is that what you called him?
No.
Jose Maria Olazabal?
Olafable. Always had that one down.
I thought your dad said, where's the lost ball or whatever.
No, that wasn't me.
I said your dad. I thought your dad called him.
Or my dad. No.
I thought, which one did he say was the lost ball? Which one did he say? Because you said at the top of the show that he was referring to him, and you always say lost ball. Maybe I was imagining things. Jose Maria, 4 over. Jose Maria Olazabal, 4 over on his round so far through 6. So he is trending in the wrong direction. Stuart Sink getting ready to tee off here. Actually, Stuart Sink is 1 over through 1. So Stuart Sink has teed off.
You had told us he was going to tee off around this time because around 8:30, I think is what you had said.
He did, and he got off on time. So Tiger Woods now, the next big one we're going to keep an eye on, and that is 10:04.
And that'll be an hour after we're done as the Czar is coming on with Chad Guathman.
And all his Italian relatives.
Yeah, his Guidos.
Oh, boy. All right. Major League Baseball, the other big headline. Major League Baseball getting underway today. Opening day, your first game, your very first game of the year will be at 1:20. The Chicago Cubs hosting the Milwaukee Brewers.
Well, I thought it used to be a tradition that the Reds played first.
It is.
Right.
And that was the big Major League Baseball thing because the Reds would have
an afternoon game,
I believe they still do. I believe they still have the parade that goes through Cincinnati. And Cincinnati always had the opening day game. But I think because of the lockout and everything that preceded, we're getting
still
the
playing
full
162,
schedule. Yes, they did have to make some concessions. And the Reds are actually opening on the road against the Braves, and you'll be able to hear that game right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 7:08 first pitch for the Atlanta Braves tonight in their gold jerseys and everything that's happening there. As we mentioned, we have those on our Facebook page, the gold jerseys for the Braves. the nice little trim, which you like, right?
Yeah, they're good. They're good. I'm probably going to get a hat. No, I'm not. Wait
a minute. You said probably. You have not ordered it yet?
Well, no, they just came out this week. I didn't know anything about this. I hadn't paid attention.
Usually by now you have the jersey, the shoes, and the hat already bought.
I know, but I don't know about the jerseys. We'll see. I mean, they're kind of highfalutin, but I think I'll at least get a hat. It does say World Champions on it.
You've not gotten a World Champions hat yet.
I do. I have one, but this is another.
You want the gold?
The one with the gold. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right. So your loved Yankees are postponed. They were taking on the Red Sox today. Well. You also get the Royals and the Cleveland Guardians.
I just can't.
Can you bring yourself to say
I
the Cleveland
cannot.
Guardians?
I'm going to screw that up repeatedly because they just signed one of their guys yesterday, and I'm like, who? Oh, yeah, right. Used to be the Cleveland Indians until everybody had to be politically correct. Even though there was Indians here, before we ever came over from Europe to come to claim the United States of America. But whatever. I mean, the Guardians. What the hell is that? It sounds like a bad Marvel movie. Okay.
Boy, you are all over it today.
I mean, it does.
You got fired up. We were okay that first hour, and then we go to Jimbo Fisher.
I can't stand liars. Good grief. You're so defensive, all you people, that everybody knows what's going on. Just say we've recruited at a high level instead of sitting there trying to say you didn't use NIL to do it. Do you think everybody just fell off of a shrimp boat? I mean, good grief. What kind of moonshine you been drinking?
Just remember, he had hair.
Right.
He had hair.
He lost his hair because he lied too much. Probably.
All right. That is going to do it for the 2 hours.
Thank you to Les Studeman, that was the highlight of the show. Jimbo had hair. And then thank you to Ryan Fowler for coming on with us.
She was not a Doublemint twin.
No, she was not.
She said it.
I didn't know where we were going with that at first.
I didn't either. All right, we're done for the 2 hours. That's going to do it. We'll be back Friday morning.
More golf conversation.
Yes.
Charlie Plott with the Masters. We'll talk to Chris Willis, UNA.
I don't think it'll be as entertaining as Les. We'll try.
I'll on the drive with Wes Neighbors, 5 to 5:50 before the Braves.